Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Stevie.
And I'm JayJay.
And this is Chismosas y Mimosas. It's actually really good.
That is fresh.
Fucking fresh. Alright, JayJay, what are we drinking today?
Oh. Today. Today we're drinking tea.
So today's guest, in honor of her, we are not drinking alcohol.
Because we're all about pleasing our guests.
Yeah, so many demands, people. So with our tea today, what is it? What's in it, JayJay?
Green tea, mango lemonade, fresh shit.
Simple syrup. No alcohol. None in this one, and none in this one. You know how this bitch always likes to give me shit about mine being so meh. Welcome to the club, girl.
Cheers.
So today we'll be discussing coming out stories.
Coming out. There's our jingle.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and bring out our guest.
Right.
This is really good.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you so much for doing this for me.
No worries.
Cheers.
Alright, everybody, welcome our guest, Ariana. So go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody out there.
My name is Ariana. I am founder of United Against Hate. We are a nonprofit organization. The goal that we have is to unite the people while helping those that are in need, the people that are in need, and the communities that are in need.
So today we're basically doing the topic of coming out. So I identify as lesbian. JayJay,
I'm sexual.
how do you identify?
Lesbian, for sure.
So I'm sure we all have different coming out stories, and quite honestly, we would like to know what yours is.
When I came out, I was drunk.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you?
20, I think like 19, 20 years old. And my main challenge, like the most difficult person to come out to was my mom. Anybody that knows me knows that my mom means everything to me. She's just my universe.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up like Latina, my mom would always tell me like, Mija, you're gonna marry a good man.
Mm-hmm.
One day, you're gonna marry a good one. And when I started feeling different like towards women, I started thinking about everything that my mom said.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that as soon as I came out to her, she was gonna get fucking pissed. I knew it. So she was like the most difficult one to come out to.
Was it like bad when it happened, or was it more you were putting too much into it?
No, because what happened, I had like my very first girlfriend, my very first experience. My mom kind of walked in on us making out.
Okay. I was out.
So she walked in on us making out, and like when you make out with someone, like it gets messy, like your hair gets everywhere, you know what I mean? And back then,
What kind of making out you doing? I'm like,
me?
Yeah.
Well, like you.
Oh, you were getting into that movie style, like I'm gonna run my hands through your hair.
Yeah, and she did the same. And like back then, I had like curly hair, so my hair looked crazy. So anyway, let's say this was my then girlfriend, my first girlfriend, and this was me.
Top of her? Yeah.
We were making out. Okay, we were in my room, and then
A little dry humping?
no.
Why not?
Okay, we were making out, and I hear footsteps. So I back up a little bit. So kind of just put my head up, and I look down at my girlfriend, and I'm like, do you hear something? She's like, no. So I'm like, okay. But then I hear the doorknob turning. And so at that time, I'm like getting more up. But by this point, me and my mom are making eye contact. And so I right away you're like, 1, 2, 3. She's breathing. I said to my mom,
Quick, if anybody gets walked in on, use that trick.
I should have used that one. I panicked and I pretended like I was watching TV. She already saw me.
Was the TV on?
Yeah, but the volume was off. It was horrible. And I was watching the TV and I was like really looking at it. I was like, wow. And like,
why isn't there anything on?
And she's still laying on the bed.
yeah. Oh my God, you guys. When I look at her, she's like this.
She's like,
And I'm like, what are you doing? You're making me look like a predator. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing? So my mom, she flips out. She's like, come here. I want to talk to you. Get out. And like, she's just angry as shit. And so my girlfriend is like, should I leave? And I'm like, no, like, let's just see what happens. Let me talk to my mom. So I get out of the room, go into the living room, and my mom is just like, that looked like you were kissing her. But she was pissed, you guys, like fucking heated. And I was like, no. You know, because
What are you
listen,
talking about?
when my mom is that angry, you know, she was like super, super angry. That wasn't the time for me to come out. There was absolutely no way at that moment when she's pissed off.
Because that chocolate's gonna come flying across the room and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I denied everything. I was like, no, Mom. I told her that what happened was that she was telling me a secret. And when she came in, I was pulling away already because the secret was done.
because you guys were alone in your room. Just doing a whisper.
Listen, I didn't have that quick thinking like you doing CPR. I should have done that. Funny.
You really would have.
So I denied everything, and my mom, she bought it. I don't think she bought it, you know what I mean? But she really wanted to believe.
It's that denial. Like, okay, I'm gonna hear what you said, but then I know what actually happened.
Yeah.
Denial. Yeah.
And I think like 3 weeks later, we had a family party, and back then I was drinking. And my mom and I that night, we were drinking whiskey, Jameson on the rocks. I remember this shit clearly. We had
Tell me more about Jameson. I'm not an alcoholic, guys.
So we had red cups, we had Jameson on the rocks, and we, you know, my mom came up to me and she's like, "Mija, sácame a bailar, you know, come dance with me."
Come down to the
Come dance with me. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. So we're on the dance floor, you know, dancing salsa. I have my cup, she has her cup, and I'm just enjoying it. Like, I'm drunk, my mom is drunk too. And I see my mom, like, she keeps looking at me.
She's waiting for you.
She's like observing me.
Mm-hmm.
She's like dancing, and then she's just looking at me. And then she gets her straw, takes a sip, but she stops dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns her head and she's like, "I want to ask you something." And I was like,
Okay.
I was like, okay. And she's like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "Yeah." But I was drunk, so I was happy. I was like, yeah, I'm drunk. I mean, I'm drunk. I'm gay. And because she's such a classy woman, it was a family party. So if she was angry at me, that wasn't the time. And she knew that wasn't the time. So she took
She's
it
like,
in.
there's a crowd here.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, because after that, like, she didn't talk to me for like 2 months. She was like pissed off. Really, really pissed off. Yeah. She came around when she saw me crying. That, you know, my first girlfriend, it lasted like 3 months. It was, you know,
first girlfriend.
So when she saw me crying, she panicked. She's like, what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And so I told her, I was like, she left me. And I was sobbing. And she was like, she hugged me, and then she grabbed my face, and she was like, "Did you really feel something for her?" She was like, "You're a girl, and you felt something for another girl?"
Uh-huh.
She's like, "I never seen you cry for a guy." Okay. In that conversation too, I told my mom, like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't give you what you always wanted. You always wanted me to marry a man, and I tried. I tried to have boyfriends, and I didn't feel human. I didn't feel connected, you know what I mean, to guys. So
Just kinda go-
it made me depressed.
I feel like I always felt like I was like this.
Right. No,
I just feel like I just go all like murk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to, that's what it feels like to me. Just exactly that. This is what it looked like.
But you guys are, how old were you when you first realized you were into
I was 18, but I wasn't ready to.
That was the first
pursue.
time you really knew that you were into girls?
Yeah.
Wow, that late in life, huh?
Yeah. It's like I always had feelings, but it wasn't until 18 that I was like, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, I became more accepting of it, little by little. It wasn't just that at 18 I was like, bam, I'm gay and I'm accepting everything. You know what I mean? It was like baby steps. Like, I don't think I went to like my first gay club till I was like 20.
Wow, you were a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I knew the feeling of something was wrong, or let me say something was wrong. But I knew it at a very young age. God, how old are you when you're in the 3rd grade?
8, right?
Okay, so let's figure I'm about 8 or 9 years old. I was in school and one of the teachers made me feel a certain way. Like I would look at her, she was really pretty. She had this bright red hair, this bright red lipstick, and she had this really amazing body. And it was her walk. I used to love to watch her walk. And I would always be like, why do I love looking at her? Why does it make me feel a certain way? And then I started thinking to myself, because at that age, you know nothing of gay, lesbian, any of that shit. So honestly, all I could think was, something's wrong with me. Something happened to me when I was in my mom's stomach or something. Like maybe I was supposed to be a boy. And you don't know, so you go through this whole thing by yourself because you don't want to say anything to anybody.
Right,
Especially I was only like 8 or 9 years old. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And it wasn't until I got older and I started to know what gay, lesbian, and all that meant. And then I was like, oh, so that's what I am. But I mean, I went through the whole process of being like, I'm bisexual.
Oh, I said that too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
I was like, I like them both. But then when I was with guys, I was, you know?
Yeah. But it didn't click. Like it didn't click to me that I was like a lesbian. I was, probably just in denial. Didn't want to accept it. I don't know. Maybe. I was like really into the closet. Like behind the closet.
She was really into the closet. Look at this shit. She stood in there long enough where she can't get off that shit. What about you, JayJay?
What about me?
What's
okay, so I knew about sex when I was like in kindergarten. I used to like, me and all my friends, girls, boys, whatever, we all just like played with each other. You know,
What?
that's what kids do.
that little?
Yeah, like we would just always, and I liked both from like get-go. Like I would be like, hey, your sister's cute, have her come play with us. Like, don't forget to bring your brother, Never questioned it. I never had a problem with it growing up. Like I had.
So you were just like always open?
I was just not. I don't know if I was. I mean,
JayJay's pretty open.
I wasn't like, hey, I'm like 8 years old going, I'm bisexual. Like, I just wasn't. Me and all my friends were like experimenting with each other. So it was just normal to me growing up to do that.
But like you were
like,
comfortable? Like you never like thought like, why am I doing this? No, you were just, fuck it, like did this what I'm doing?
I never really questioned why I liked both. It wasn't like an issue for me or anything. I mean, I did.
It was just normal. I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, in all honesty, that's what it should be.
I'm trying to like think back. I never had those moments where I was just like, why? Like.
But I like that. Like I respect that. You know what I mean? Like I think too many people today think about it too much. What am I? Where do I belong? What's my label? And it's just like, dude, just do you.
Yeah, I don't discriminate against anyone.
But did you ever come out to your mom?
So I do have a coming out story with my my first girlfriend. Candace.
Did your mom catch you guys or what?
No. So we never really got that far. All we did was make out. That's all we got.
Were you giving her CPR?
No. But I remember she used to be like, in high school, I was a sophomore in high school. She was like that one lesbian that all the girls had a crush on,
And she was open about her?
Yeah.
Good for her.
She was. I was always, before her, I never had a girlfriend, but I had girls that I did stuff with. And we, started talking, whatever. And I remember this so clearly. We had a class together. And I was wearing jeans, and she wrote on my jeans with like a fucking marker. You remember this? I love Candace, and Candace, like I belong to Candace or some shit like that on my pants. And back then, I remember coming home from school and I took my pants off real fast because I was like, this bitch wrote a marker, and I like shoved it in my drawer. And I think like I don't know how much longer my mom was like, for whatever reason, going through my drawer, and but she pulled out my pants. And it's just bam, big old black marker. Like I think she wrote, I belong to Candace or some shit like that. And my mom was like, Jessica, what is this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know. She's found out, and I was like, yeah, that's my girlfriend, you know. I love her. And my mom was like, it's so funny because to know my mom now and how she is, like with my last girlfriend, to see how she was with my first girlfriend, I'm like, who the fuck are you? The first time she was like, this is unacceptable. And we had a carnival at our local park. I knew Candace was gonna be there, and my mom wanted me and her to go with my grandma, I think my little brother. And I was like, no, I don't want to go, you know, because I knew my mom was going to see her, and I was like, I can't deal with this, you know. So I didn't end up going, but my mom went, and sure enough, she saw Candace at the damn carnival, and like goes up to her, tries to like beat her up.
No way! So your mother. So
like,
your
goes
mother.
up to her and is like talking shit to her.
What?
Because she had scared her away, she broke up with me right after. And it broke my heart. But my mom, like with my last girlfriends after that, was just totally cool. We would like spend the night at the house, and they were just like, you know.
I had an experience close to yours, but that was with my dad. And then it was so funny because my mom, I was ready to tell her. I must have been like 13, 14 years old when I came out to my mom. And we went to go pick up my aunt at work, and we were parked outside waiting. And I guess my mom could tell like I was depressed about stuff and I was going through things. And she starts asking me like every fucking question in the book. Are you pregnant? Were you raped? Were you molested? You know, are you getting beat up at school? Are you being bullied? Like every fucking question. And I'm crying my eyes out. I'm sitting there crying, and she's like, tell me what's wrong, you know, and she's like freaking out, and basically finally get it out. Like it felt for hours, but it was like maybe 20 minutes. And I finally just went, I'm like, girls, you know. And my mom goes, oh, mija, I always knew. She was like, I always knew you were gonna be gay. And I was like, no, but I like boys too, you know, because I didn't think I was gay. You know, she's like,
right.
But she's like, but I always knew, mija, it's fine. I've known for a long time. And I'm like, all I'm thinking is, I sat here for fucking 20 minutes, and that wasn't one of the questions you asked me, like crying. And after that, she was just like, whatever, you know. She was totally cool about it.
But why would you feel weird coming out to your mom?
I was terrified.
Really? But why?
Well, she says why because my mom identifies as a lesbian. So my mom was raised Latina, Catholic. You know, you're a woman, you get married, you have a husband, and you have kids. It was that thing that it was a sin.
Yeah.
So for many years, my mom was in the closet, and it brought her to depression. It brought her to a point in her life where she wanted to take her life because of it. She came out of the closet very late in life. So she came out maybe a few years before I came out to her. I was terrified to come out solely for the purpose that I saw the way my dad was after she came out. I was terrified he was going to be pissed at her and blame her for me being gay. So it was really hard for me to come out because I didn't know how it would change the dynamic at home. We're good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, my family right now, they're really cool with it too. Yeah, my mom, like, New Year's Eve, like, she came up to me and she was like, mija, 2018, you're gonna find a good woman.
Ah, there you go.
Okay, Mom.
How was she when you cut off all your hair?
Oh, no, she freaked out. She freaked out. I cut my hair, I think, like, 3 years ago. And
only 3 years ago? Man, you a late bloomer.
How old is you?
I'm 35. Yeah, cutting my hair off, I think that was just me saying I'm accepting who I am. That this is my truth. That this is how I am. Just, you know, accepting it. Damn, I already said that shit.
There's no alcohol in there. What's your excuse? Do you have any advice for anybody who's coming out of the closet now or is thinking about it? Do you feel like anything that you went through, you've learned that they could possibly gain from that?
I think everybody's different, you know what I mean? But what worked for me was the first person that I came out to, I love and I trust. And I know that they trust me, I know that they love me, and it was my twin brother. So I kind of already knew he was going to accept it. When you first start out and you start getting comfortable with telling people, you know, you're coming out of the closet, you're going to get good reactions and then you're going to get those bad ones. And when you get those bad ones, what helped me was going back to my twin brother and talking to him. And he would just remind me that it's okay. And at that time, it's what I needed to hear. So any advice, I would say, the first person that you come out to, make sure that, you know, you love them and you trust them.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you do have like a support system.
And nowadays there's like so many hotlines, you know what I mean? Because it can get very depressing. I mean, like
we're everywhere, by the way, okay? So there's always going to be someone who's been through it, and honestly, they can guide you through it.
Yeah, because it can get dark. It can get very depressing. You know, like you shared, your mom had suicidal thoughts, and it goes there. You know what I mean? So nowadays, there's like a bunch of resources, and you know, I love that. You know, we're growing. The LGBTQ community is growing. So
that's the agenda. We're just getting bigger. We're gonna take over the world. Oh, I said it, guys. Oops. I let it out.
All right, guys. I think we had some really important topics today.
We sure did. Well, we want to thank Ariana for coming out today.
Thank you.
And joining in on this topic. We hope it didn't scare you too much.
no.
I know we can be a bit much.
We're a bit abrasive.
Can I say something?
Please do.
I just want to thank you guys for creating something like this. You know what I mean? Like, we live in a time right now where it's so easy to get angry. You know, you turn on the news, pick a topic. You know what I mean? So to have a show like this, I believe that laughter is a form of healing. And so that's what you guys bring to the table. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for creating this. And I wish you guys a lifetime of success.
Did you try to make me cry right now? Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Bro.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate what you're doing yourself.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
organization yourself is amazing.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we've been able to, you know, follow along. We really want to get into it as well as participate.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully we can talk about that a little bit more off camera. But once again, please let the people know more about your organization. Let them know of any social media sites that they can reach. If you have a website, I will also link once again the video that you have on your YouTube page so that you can see what she's got going on. They also put together events to help out those who are being discriminated against. And if you want to get behind that, make sure to contact her, which you will find in the description. So go ahead and let them know more about.
We're just bringing the people together, you know what I mean? We fundraise for communities that are in need of help. We also do videos that bring awareness to these hard topics. We volunteer for great organizations, you know what I mean? So we do a little bit of everything. The main thing is just uniting and being able to help the community. So if anybody wants to donate, anybody wants to volunteer, anybody wants to help out, become a member, the organization IG account is United Against Hate 1.
And we really hope that you guys will head over there and show your love and support, as well as do your part. All right, guys, don't forget to leave us a like.
Subscribe.
Make sure to leave us a comment down below about your coming out stories. So we'll see you guys next time on Chismosas y Mimosas.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Okay.
give it another go. There you go.
Get loose.
Get loose, girl. Let your boobies on the table.
You could do titty.